boys and girls. We got a load of hay today, and I didn't get any video of us loading it because it's starting to rain real bad, and I was in the middle of a 200-acre pasture, and I just had to get loaded and get out of there before we got stuck. But I gotta go. It's about 35 miles, not too bad, but I gotta go through Weatherford, through town, and then through Mineral Wells to get to the place out on 281. So it's gonna be a lot of city driving. Maybe get some good shots of the truck running and shifting and everything. Now this video is after I did the in-cab AFC control and the AFC springs, but I messed up and ordered a spring that was too stiff. So the spring that I got is not working properly because it is not getting full travel because my truck doesn't make enough boost. So it's only getting about half travel. So I'm a little worse off than I was before I did the mod. So I got a new spring coming. It's gonna fix that up, and then I'll be able to use my tuner real well. It did work. I could turn the fuel down to almost nothing, and then I could turn it up to where it was about half travel on the spring, but couldn't get any more out of it because I don't have any more boost. So I'm gonna get a new spring, and then we'll go from there. But now I can full throttle it, and I'll only make 40 pounds of boost. So it's actually kind of nice, so I can go full throttle and I don't have to worry about running too much boost pressure. But I'm on the road here, out in the middle of nowhere. Got 20 5x6 bells. They're really, really big. They're heavy. They're 1,000 pounds a piece. And we're gonna get this delivered out there to Mineral Wells. All right, guys, we're still cruising on the back roads here. I want to talk to you about my fuel pressure issue I've got. Right there's my fuel pressure gauge, and if you watch it, from light on the throttle, it just steadily starts dropping. And I've put a new way to pressure regulate the fuel. Got 2 brand new fuel filters. I'm running the factory 10 micron on the frame that has a fuel pump in it, and then I'm running a 2 micron on the side of the engine before the P-pump. And before, whenever one of those would get clogged, it would start doing this. But now, with 2 brand new ones, it's just doing it all the time. So I think I'm going to have to drop the tank and either see if there's something in the tank causing this, or just go ahead and bite the bullet and run a fast or an air dog. I've always had good luck with fast. I've never ran an air dog. And I've had a lot of people talk to me about the Predator lid pump from Power Driven Diesel, the belt-driven one. I had a buddy that ran a belt-driven pump just like that about 10 years ago. It worked really good, but the belt is a hassle, especially with me hauling hay, going through pastures and stuff with cattle and hay. It's just not very feasible. Plus, I have the tone wheel on the front, so their little adapter wouldn't work. If I did get it, I would mount it to the top of the engine, like an accessory drive, like an industrial engine has the AC compressor mounted on the top. I would probably put it there, but that's going to be ended up costing more and more work than just putting a fast or an air dog on here. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I've got to do something because the fuel pressure issue is just kicking my butt. And when I get the new AFC spring, that's the right tension, and I get full fuel out of it, it's going to be a really big issue. But for now, the truck's running really good as long as I don't mash on it too hard. And maintain fuel pressure. The way I have the spring set up now and the knobs, it's working really well. I'm not having any issue out of it. But we're just cruising, got the hay back there. It's gonna take me longer to get off of this back road than it is gonna be driving the 30 miles down Mineral Wells Highway, 180. But just sit back and listen to the awesome sound of the turbo and the 12 valve and watch some gauges if you wouldn't mind. See here, the monitor, the edge monitor, gives a lock symbol when the torque converter is locked. So you can clearly see that it is locked in 3rd gear right now. When I go to pull out onto the main road here, I'll show you how it shifts through the gears. And actually, you can visibly see it lock, just for anyone who is concerned that it isn't locking or anything like that. And you'll be able to watch my engine or my RPM, and the boost pressure here is the map sensor, and it's reading intermediate boost, not total boost. Total boost is right here. And then you have engine temp, which is 182, and then 145 trans temp. And it's about 75 degrees outside right now. Locked in second gear. I'm just gonna stay here, but I gotta make my turn right up here. There's third lock. So if you watched my first video I ever made, this is where I first pulled out of right here. Got a slight incline, and the truck's had a few changes since then. It's got bumped the timing 3 degrees. And the small AFC adjustment we just did, and that's all the differences to the engine, other than just doing my side exit exhaust. But that's not really a performance modification. So here we go. Pulling out onto this hill here is like the worst thing ever, honestly. First locked. Second locked. Third locked. Throttle positioned right there, just so you know. We're still 800 EGTs. Fourth locked. Going 45 mile an hour now. $50 miles an hour. Fuel pressure's gone from 40 to 30. Back off the throttle, bumps right back up. It's expensive as well. Maintained 53 mile an hour. That's still on fourth locked. Have not gotten into fifth gear yet, or overdrive, whatever you want to call it. Lock. Second locked. Third lock. It wrapped it out to 2,600 RPM there. We're cruising right along. That's 50 mile an hour there. Now it's only 41% throttle. Just maintain that throttle position. Maintain that throttle position and it should shift into fifth final drive in just a second. There we go, fifth gear locked. Now I shouldn't have to downshift from here on out. Be about 25 miles on here, I believe. When I keep the speed around 65, this road don't really want to drive faster than that. It's got a lot of hills and some curves to it, and has quite a bit of traffic on it. 30 pounds of boost, 950 EGTs. Fuel pressure's still bothering me. It's pulling down to 30 or so. Boost, 11 to 12 intermediate boost. As the fuel pressure starts to drop, I do have to give it a little bit more throttle, but all in all, not bad. Everybody, welcome back. It's the next night. Last night didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I got home and unhooked the flatbed and went to hook up the Wilson punch out, and the cell barn called and said they got a semi to do it because there's too many for my trailer. So I'm headed out to Eastland now to make this into a all one video here. I'm headed out to Eastland and to pick up some cattle. It's gonna be a long night because I'm going from Eastland to Decatur, back to Eastland and back to Weatherford. So it's gonna be a couple hundred miles, and it's supposed to snow and get some freezing rain tonight, so it should be interesting. But 7 o'clock now, and I got the Wilson, which I'll show y'all. It's a 40 foot by 7.6 Wilson punch out. It's a pretty awesome trailer. But as you can see, I got 200,055 miles on it, and I'll keep y'all updated on the miles I drive tonight. But truck's still doing work, no issues. We're just gonna keep on going. That's why I love this truck so much. It just does whatever I ask of it. You know, no issues, knock on wood, but I got my boys with me tonight. Turn the light on there. And they're gonna go with me. And hopefully they make it all night, but we'll see. What'd you say, Chrissy? Anyways, got them with me to keep me entertained for tonight, but we're gonna get on the road here. I got about 60 miles from here to Eastland and pick up our first load, and I'll catch up with you there. Well, we just got to the sale barn here in Eastland. I'm running a little bit behind because I didn't know it was coming out here until later, but got 3 semis here getting loaded up. I gotta pull around the back here, back up the pickup chute, get loaded up here. Alright, boys and girls, we got them all loaded up. Only got 25 head on this one here. And then we're headed to Decatur. Go get a truck, buddy, it's cold. Alright, let's get on the road here. Just cruising down the road here, running about 70. Gotta stop off and get some fuel. But as you can still see, I still having a fuel pressure issue. It's one of those things you have to live with until I can afford to get it fixed. Figure out something better, but we've already driven around 80 miles, got a 200,000, 135 on it now. Just stop off and get some fuel. Well, I'm on a good stretch of highway here. So I've got 18,000 pounds worth of cattle on here tonight, and running 70 right now. So just let y'all sit back and watch and just see how the truck drives. I'm on Interstate 20 here, and just gonna see how it does just running on the interstate and see how nice and easy it drives. About 2,000 RPMs is right at 70 miles an hour. There's 20 pounds of boost. So about 15 to 20 pounds of boost to maintain 70 mile an hour on flat ground. And I mean, under 700 EGTs to maintain it. All in all, I bet I'm totaling weight around 32,000 pounds right now gross. So it's not extremely heavy, but it's still a pretty good load. Nice and quiet here. The compounds make it really quiet. Pounds of boost, 10 pounds intermediate, well, 9 pounds. I gotta pass somebody here real quick. Drives like you're driving to church on a Sunday with just a 40-foot of stock trailer behind you. There she is on the chicken lights. Coming through Decatur here, got 212 miles in the trip so far. I think one of my favorite things that this transmission does is that even when I'm going slow, it'll stay locked into a gear. Like now it's locked in second, so as I'm coming through town, it just stays locked. So if I'm coming to a red light and then it turns green and I don't come to a complete stop, it'll stay locked, so I can just give it some throttle and go on with it without having to get real hard on the throttle and burn through some clutches in the transmission. It just stays locked. It's just so much like driving a manual transmission. It's wild, and that's one reason I like it so much. And it's one of the reasons that the transmission stays so cool. I mean, I've just driven 100 miles straight and 130 degrees transmission temp, so that's just awesome. And I'm pulling, you know, I'm weighing about 32,000 pounds gross, so I mean it's pretty good to keep the trans temp that cool. But like, see, it's still locked in second gear right here. And as long as I don't come to a complete stop, oh, there it went, it unlocked. But as soon as I get back into it, get over 35% throttle, lock it back in right there, then it's like driving a manual transmission again. It's super nice. midnight, and freezing range just now starting. I got 285 miles on the truck so far tonight. We're still going. I got a try to get to Eastland and get loaded up and get back before they shut down Ranger Highway or Ranger Hill, which is something they do pretty often if it ices. So got to get that done. So I've got to make good time before the road gets bad. But we're still running pretty good. Just so everybody knows, the truck's been running since 5 o'clock this evening, so I haven't shut it off one time since 5 o'clock. So that just lets you know how long I can let this truck run and how hard I can work it non-stop. And I've still got another 4 hours to go, so it's going to be a late night. Old Faith is going to get her done. Alright guys, I'm here, finally made it back to Eastland. I'm going to get loaded up here at the sale barn. I got to put, see, it's 11 and 17, so it's 26 head on this one. And then we got to haul ass back to Decatur. Then drop the other 11 off it in Weatherford. Then I can finally go home. And then get up and go to work in the morning. So it's going to be about 4:30 before I get home. And then got to wake up at 6 and head home. So, I mean, head to work. But here's the inside of this trailer. It's got some lights up in there and everything. But gonna get loaded up here and then get back on the road. It's now 28 degrees here. And outside it's got a little bit of sleet coming. So still trying to get back down Ranger Hill before it gets slick, because I don't want to go down that hill when it's slippery, because it's a 6% grade for a mile and a half. So that's pretty sketchy during when it's dry. So anyways, we're gonna get loaded up and then get on the road again. All right guys, we made it. We put 463 miles on it from 6 o'clock to now. So it's now 4 o'clock. I'm ready to get home. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you made it all the way through, and we'll see you next time.